Hello there, this is a quick guide on how to fly with flying mounts. And flying mounts usually belong to certain mods like the Extreme Exiles mod, as well with the LCD Bestiary mod, the Sapphire Exile mod, and maybe a few more, who knows. I'm not sure if these flying mounts will ever be added in the future into the base game, but for now they are only on the mods. So just in case you own a flying mount, you know that there are a few basic things that you will need to do to be allowed to fly around the place. And one of the things applies also to the normal mounts, to the ground mounts, that is to add a saddle to these mounts so you can fly them. So once you open their inventory, you will see the saddle slot here, and you'll need to use an appropriate saddle. It doesn't need, sometimes or most of the time, it doesn't have to be a common saddle. So in this case you will need to really use the saddle that really belongs to the creature, the Griffon saddle for the Griffon mount. And for example, for these dragon mounts you must use a dragon saddle. Okay, with mods, lots of saddles, different ones will show up, so that you will need to read their titles to see which ones are used in each mount. Of course, that makes sense. So once you are ready, once the mount is ready, something still needs to be changed. And any of you that plays the game knows and that has used at least common mounts before knows that there is a button or a key in the case of the keyboard to get off mounts, okay? And by the default is the C key in the keyboard to get off mounts, to dismount them, and that also applies to the crouching movement, is also the C key, but that doesn't matter for now. So I strongly advise you, before even trying to start flying with these mounts, to go here to the settings, key bindings, go there to the mount section and switch this key or button, whatever you are using, to a different key that is not being used by any of the other things around here, other movements. So in my case, I think the L key is appropriate for me to get off mounts. And now if I go, for example, here on the Griffin, I'll just press E and my character will automatically ride it, okay? And if I press the L key, in this case, it will just dismount the Griffon, okay? So let's get back into it. And now I should be ready to fly, but before flying I want to tell you that these flying mounts also can behave as ground mounts, okay, non-flying mounts. So you can run around, walk around with them in anywhere you want to, or even sprint, okay, just go and run. So pretty funny animation. But flying mounts are for something to fly to. So to start flying, I suggest you to just keep using the WASD keys on the keyboard at least, and for the controller, the movement keys, okay, should do. While you are just going forwards, you should press the space key to gain altitude, okay, to start flying. And here we are flying. And I suggest you not to hold the space key for too long, otherwise the flying mount will just go up, up and away, and you will stop seeing what's around you down there, okay, after a while, okay? And I really suggest you just to slowly use the space key, okay? Press it actually quickly to slowly gain altitude, yes, to go up. How can I lose altitude? How can I descend? Well, that's pretty simple. So you remember that default key I was using to get off the mounts? Well, I'm not getting off the mount while flying, because that can and on that, at least for my character, sometimes even for the mount. Okay, it depends of the situations, but sometimes it can happen. Okay, especially if you are in a high altitude. So to go down a little, you should be holding the C key, or just press it once, for example, and it goes down a bit. Okay, it goes down slowly. All right, so that's why I had to switch the dismount key to another one in this case, because the mods at least force you to use, in this case of these mods that I've mentioned previously, to use the C key to go down. Alright, and how about landing? Landing will also require the use of the C key, but together with the left control key. Alright, so you hold the left control and the C key, and it will land in no time. Okay, you just press both and it will just land in a bit. Okay, here it is. If you are, for example, in a higher altitude, so I'm gonna go higher and higher, and you really want to try to land even more safely, what I suggest you is to not press already the control and C key to really land yet, but to slowly lose altitude. And I will just tell you to press a few times the C key, and if you feel like your mount is going down quickly, press a few times the space key so it can, feel a little more stable, and go down slowly. Alright, and when you feel safe enough, you can try to land with it. Alright, with the control key. Alright, I'm going off the mount in this case with the L key. It was what I've chosen to go with the dismount option, and now I'm gonna mount the dragon. And as you can see, you even have a wider field of view right now, so you can see better your mount. As you can see, it occupies part of your screen. If you accidentally get off the mount while in high altitude, the higher the worse for you is that both of you can die, or you are the only one that can die by fall damage. In this case I won't be dying because I'm under admin mode, but your character can happen to die or just get teleported from the air to the ground. Alright, so things keep changing even on mods. Still be careful while flying. And that's all. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.